Happy Tuesday, boys and girls. Gold King Bach with some more Red Dead Redemption 2. I hope you're having yourselves a fine day. Or perhaps you're on some other part of the world and your day is almost over. It's evening. You're nearing sleepy time. And if that's the case, and you find yourself here, let the sweet sound of my voice place you into a nice, comfortable rest. Or, just stick around and check out all the gunfire and the horse riding and the "you're okay, boy." All that good stuff. Look at how musty it is. My goodness. Where does Arthur find himself at this particular moment? Fish. We could start the stream with a wee bit of fishing. It's fish for a legendary... I mean, that looks like some kind of barracuda. I don't know if it actually is a barracuda. But, you know what? Let's say it is. Oh, did I cross the wrong body of water? I think I did. And look, there's a little red dot of evil. And there's more red dots of evil. Snakes and gators and all kinds of horrible things. Oh my gosh, it's the alert. Okay, let's hop on the tracks here. This is dangerous, kids. Don't ever do this. Actually, you know what? I forgot. We do have a bounty out on our noggins, so probably want to take care of that. What is this mission? Just to carry this. A Mary Beth mission. No, and thrice no. That is not quite yet. That would be after, I think, this one. Angelo Bronte, a man of honor. We also have Charles Chatenay. Is that his name? Charles Chatenay. Okay. Oh my goodness, I didn't even see the gator. I just heard, oh my gosh, another one. Hop the fence where it's safe. Caligula Hole. Not the actual name, but that's what it sounds like. That guy's just like, I just watched this idiot hop over a pair of gators and then trespass. Do I call the authorities, or do I take notes for the kind of life I should be living? Okay, let's ride into town. Let's take care of this little $65 bounty I got for... If I'm not mistaken, I got this robbing a pretty high-end poker game yesterday. Executed quite a few fellows in doing so. Pretty sure I angered some people here. That's why I have the bounty. But it was only $65, and I'm pretty sure I made out with more than that, so still profitable. Thing is, though, I was wearing a mask the entire time, and now I'm not, so I'm always curious about bounties like that. It's like when they put a poster up there, like, we don't know what he looks like except for the top half of his face. Ben Dover, how are you doing? Good to see you.
Is someone there? Hello?
This guy seems like he's doing a little try hard with his thing, but we'll give it to him for the sake of honor. Exactly. Howdy, cowboys.
There you go, friend. Bless you, mister. Truly, you're a saint.
Does he give me something? I get honor, and that's good.
In the world like you. God bless.
He didn't give me anything in return, so I do wonder.
Come on now, boy. Please, anything you can spare would be much appreciated.
Give me 1 sec. My cat's in the way. Okay.
Did I drop a coin? I know
bloody animal, acting like an animal. Don't worry, he's fine. I just had to snap our fingers a little bit, tell him to get down. Everything's good. Kitty's fine. I never do anything to upset the cat. You know, except for a little mild correction. I'm gonna get the papers. Get the papers. Whoa, jeez. Let's see. I don't have any copies of these, so I want all your newspapers. Oh, whoa. Hello, we got... I think it was Tommy 2 times, but the sentiment is appreciated. White Bear, Israel, how y'all doing? Wait, where's the guy who's selling, like, the racist stuff? Oh, there he is. Let's talk about... Well, you were selling a book about racism. Or a pamphlet, I guess. Give me the racist pamphlet. Do we not get to have one? I want a racist pamphlet.
I want you to ask yourself, do I consider myself pure?
I don't know. Do you?
And then I want you to ask yourself...
You see the 28 days, or 28 years later trailer yet? Yes, and gotta be honest, I think it looks pretty good. I liked the trailer. I like that it didn't give away too much. I think the look of the movie's cool, so I am intrigued. So, yeah, I liked what I saw. I liked what I saw. So, you know, that's a good sign so far.
Good morning to you.
No reason to be concerned yet.
If you would give me a minute, please.
Alright, let's pay our bounty.
How can I be of
Lemoyne.
service?
There we go. We're all paid. All those fellers I took out. It's all forgiven. Is Killian's character supposed to be dead? There are some people who think that that really skinny zombie is him. I haven't seen any confirmation of that. So I have no idea. I mean, if he is, that obviously would be unfortunate, but you know, it basically come down to, do you trust the storyteller / filmmaker to do it right? Like, I'll say this, I do have some concerns with it regarding Alex Garland, because you know, he was one of the writers on the original one. He also did Ex Machina, but his storytelling ability has been highly questionable since then. And I say that being a fan of Annihilation, but Annihilation has gobs of issues. Like, it's not a very well-constructed narrative. I find some of the ideas interesting, so I enjoy the movie, but his storytelling is very questionable. I mean, Civil War is a pathetic film, which he wrote. So I have some concerns with him, but I know Danny Boyle also, you know, he's still on it, and him I more trust with his narrative.
Morning, friend.
Oh no, what'd you do?
You're a dead man!
Oh.
Hey! Who the devil are you?
As far as you're concerned, I am the devil. Now get out of here.
This cab!
I said get out of here.
I prevented a murder.
Quite know why I did that.
Because barbarity is boring, no?
Kept me
Hey, and he's
amused
still
for
gooning
years.
at it all
You must go, my friend,
time.
before the gendarmerie arrive.
Hey, you
He's
told
genuinely
me to do
creepy
right
and
by
very
this
few
fella's wife.
of not
You
films
have
have
done
given me
right
that
by
feel.
her.
Yeah,
The little
it's a good trailer. I liked it.
I'm an artist,
So
cowboy. I must do what I feel. Look, I have an exhibit at the
I
gallery.
am
Come,
I
see
am a
what I
hoping.
mean.
I am relatively hopeful that it's gonna be a solid film. I mean, shoot, I hope it's better than 28 Weeks Later at least, because I thought 28 Weeks Later kind of sucked,
Okay,
but
fella.
I don't know how much either Garland or Boyle had to do with that, if anything. I mean, I assume they would at least one of them had a producer role, but yeah, I did not care for it. So hopefully it's at least an improvement over that nonsense. The trailer certainly looks like it will be. And I like some of the people they got for the cast.
Hey, I gotta be somewhere.
What's going on here?
It's only temporary. This'll all be sorted out soon, I promise. Hey, the whole
Happened?
saloon's overrun with rats. I'm losing business left and right.
Okay, I'm gonna get myself off
someone to get rid of them from me.
of here.
I'll pay very well. I just need it done.
I'll shoot your rats.
All right, calm down. Let me see what I can do.
Let's kill some animals.
Just be sure not to bang around the place too much. I'll wait out here.
Disliked the annoying audio mix of the poem. Loud droning thing. Loved that they didn't give away everything in the 9-minute long trailer like so many. Hope Killian is a zombie. I actually kind of thought the poem thing was effectively creepy, which I think was was more or less the intent. I need a drink of water. Thankfully, I have one right here. I've got a trusty bottle of water. I was joking a bit there. Ugh. Yes, I'm gonna get started. Hold your bloody horses. Come on. There's one. Oh, you did it with intimidate. Funny enough, I did too. Funny enough. Well, I liked it. That was pretty cool. I like that he's like spectating while I kill all these rats. Just run around and kick them. Actually, what I need... There we go. Your rats get a bullet! I'll take these. I don't know why, but I'll take them. Oh yeah, and I get a cigarette card for my troubles, I guess. It's a hot air balloon! Let's shoot up that piano. Wait, let's pick up the brown rat. Oh, see? Racism. I was just hoping to have a rat collection. Quick draw. That's my rat. Oh my gosh. Do I hear any others? I think there's at least one more. Oh my gosh. Oh, there he is. You've been redded and deaded. Little rat. This is the Empire Strikes Back dark sequel to Ratatouille. Remy is finally acknowledged as the villain, and he had to go. I hope you understand the concept of sterilization, friend, because I think your place is gonna need it.
Thanks, mister.
Nice.
Take this.
Red Dead Pest Control. You got rats? We got 45.
I killed worse.
Sweet. I think I was given $11 to shoot 6 rats. That's almost $2 per rat. It's not a bad rate. Okay. Just gotta find the entrance to the little fence area here, which I think is right there.
Watch it.
Let's go ahead and hop off a Mac here.
I hope you don't plan any more molestations.
Any more what?
But you are not welcome to linger.
You're not welcome to linger. Alright, let's
Fine,
settle some stuff.
Wow, me.
Also, those earrings I took off of that lady who pretended to be a victim after she tried to, you know, kill me and take my money. See, this is what makes those robberies worth it, is you take stuff like this. Look how that stacks up, y'all. Like, here's 5 of them we're told of. There's $60 right here. I just hope I'm media literate when I grow.
This is not a social house, you know.
Real good doing business with you.
You can never be media literate enough. That's what I've learned. Alright, so we've pocketed some money. We've killed some rats. We saved a pervert. So, good stream. See y'all later. I say we head over. We probably don't want to go on the railroad and do it. That strikes me as not the best plan. So let's go over here. The watches are a lifesaver when paying for your next gun belt and such. Yeah, they are.
I got one shadow. Don't need two.
Red Dead Go. What up, Pops? How you doing?
How you do?
Exactly. We've Red Deaded some rats, and now we're gonna fuchsia fish some fishes. That didn't work so well. I was really hoping for an angle there, but there's not a lot of great colors that go to the letter F. At least not ones that popped into mind immediately. Maybe there's an obvious one. And Pops, by the way, on I think it's January the 7th, is going to be talking Commando over on his channel, which, if you know, you know. Commando, one of the best B-movie action films ever. Maybe the best. I mean, it's awesome and hilarious. Fuchsia? Well, I think that's what I said, wasn't it? Okay, let's cut around here. We should have never invented cars. Riding horses would be so much flannel fish. Alright, so what's in this body of water? Wait a minute. There's another stranger. I don't care, I want to fish. I want to see if we can catch a legendary fish. I haven't hunted any legendary animals lately. You think Starship Troopers was silent satirical masterpiece? I'm curious what I'm assuming you meant a word other than silent. Waylon Bucephus, how you doing? Howdy, howdy. I'm just curious if you meant another word, because I want to make sure I get the full context of the question, Israel. I assume it was just a typo. Or an autocorrect, I guess. Imagine being hauled to the local doctor and you're having to smell the horse ahead of you crapping his guts out. I mean, they get used to it. Uh-oh. We got a gator. Okay, before we fish, we go gator. No! You're just heading over into the water. That's where they want you. Okay, first, let's... Tonight's a year without Santa, Squeaky's favorite, Rankin, and Basker. It's nice. That's what I think I meant, hidden gem kind of thing. Would I call it a masterpiece? I mean, Masterpiece means I'm giving it a 10. Would I give that movie a 10? No. Love it. How you doing? I did see you, by the way, Love it. I saw you popped into the chat, like, right at the end yesterday, so I do appreciate you dropping by. Holy crap, that's a big snake. Good gourd, man. A Midland water snake. My gosh, I don't think I've ever shot a snake that big. We're keeping this. Well, the skin at least. 15 days till Christmas is crazy. I always got bad timing. Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. I appreciate you coming. My cat's trying to hop in front of the TV again. Stop it. All right. I should have grabbed a rifle off of my horse, but instead we gotta gat this thing. Holy moly, he's still alive. Holy crap. I just shot this thing so many times. But like, okay, I do think Starship Troopers is a pretty awesome movie. I like it very much. It's been a while since I watched it, so I don't know exactly what I'd score it, but I'm inclined to say probably somewhere in the like 7 to 8 range. But I'd have to watch it again to know for sure. But I do know that I very much liked that film. I think it's pretty good. All right, now let's see. Use a shotgun or slug or the bolt action for headshot. Yeah. I mean, normally that's what I would do. It's just I didn't bring the gun with me when I hopped up the horse. I wasn't thinking the whole thing through, I'm afraid. All right, let's hop over here. Look at that white bird. That is a dead bird. Is that a stork or? It's like, what we got here? This is a snowy egret. That sounds like an insult. Blech. I'll take that. I got your plume now. That's my plume. What the heck was that? That was kind of a loud noise. Can't tell where it came from, though, because of the earphones. What is Verhoeven's best movie? I mean, my favorite is obviously RoboCop. I'm a huge fan of RoboCop, so I'll go with that one. I haven't seen every movie of his, so I don't know if that's, like, objectively his best film, but it is my favorite. RoboCop's awesome. Let me see. I just want to make sure I've got the right, a good spot. It looks like it's supposed to be closest to here. Recover from last night. I sadly just had to stop the movie an hour in.
You gotta bait the hook. Idiot.
See, he chastised me there, but they made it sound like Arthur was drunk. Like, hey, you gotta bait the hook, you idiot. And I'm like, he's talking to me. Alright, let's see what we can catch here. Old Red Dead fishing. Do. Hang on. I got some fish nearby. Are any of these looking like legendary candidates? Kingdom of Heaven or Robin Hood? As far as director's cuts, I haven't seen Scott's Robin Hood, and I'll be honest, I didn't think Kingdom of Heaven was very good. I didn't like it very much. Thought it was very dull. Like, there was a good movie in it, but I just felt like it meandered a lot. Now, granted, it's been a long time since I saw it. I was very bored. But I never watched the Ridley Scott Robin Hood. I'm trying to paint some Christmas cards. Pray for me. Oh. You have to use special. Not necessarily. I have caught a legendary fish without one. It's a little easier with the special lures, but I'm gonna see if I can do this way. Come on, take it. Hey, hey. Do I have your attention, you silly fish? I'll do the thing. I'll probably look out for some special lures. That one doesn't seem to be biting. We'll come back there. I don't want to spend too much time here. That could be a fairly wasteful stream. Plus, fishing is not an activity that I get too much excitement from in this game. I find it somewhat tedious. The director's cut of Robin Hood is good, but kind of hollow still. It's a good popcorn movie. Interesting. I might have to check it out sometime. Like I said, I've never watched it. I remember when it first came out. Most of the people I followed at the time weren't too fond of it, and I didn't hear much after that. So I guess I just sort of forgot about it. It was sort of decommitted from memory. I love the view of fishing in this game. It's very relaxing, but fishing on here is definitely way less relaxing in real life. Well, it's just, I mean, as far as, like, I don't want to do it too much on the stream because it's like, that doesn't seem like the best way to utilize the time we're here on this. It's like, that's the kind of thing that you do, that I might do if I'm trying to 100% it on this playthrough after I've finished all the other stuff. Look, there's a little fishy right there. Isn't that neat? And have your son help you paint some. Cool. Let's see. Let's look at. Yeah, there's 13 legendary fish. Bloody hell. A lot of dinosaur bones. The Jack Hill Gang treasure. Got cigarette cards, rock carvings. Tilly has asked for a necklace. Hang on just a sec. I think I made a note of this on my phone. It might just be like you give her any necklace, but I could be wrong about that. I think part of Scott's problem is the scripts he's been adapting aren't very efficient when it comes to the character writing. Yeah, that's certainly probably back-to-back ly words. Well done, good grammar. But that is probably part of the issue. Yeah, I mean, the last movie of his that I thought was awesome, well, even good, was The Martian. And I think The Martian's awesome. I'm a big fan of The Martian. But I don't even know if he's done a good movie since then, or even a decent one, for that matter. Let's see. Looking for a creek area. Do-do-do. Huh, that's a legendary animal I already caught. For a second there, I was like, ooh, I could hunt that thing. But no. Back when he was doing Mass Effect, put me right to... I still have the unit. It's just... it's not going as hard right now because we're in a... It's... You know, we're in the season where I don't use my air conditioning all that much. I mean, obviously I like to keep it reasonably warm, but I like cool weather. So my AC unit right now is set to like 68, and it's just... I haven't needed the heater to do very much these last few days. Hang on, let me see. I might be able to get a... Oh, okay, I was looking for... It's Little Creek River. I should have looked at the name on my notes. Derp. Little Creek River. Little Creek River. That's what we're looking for. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. My problem with Cameron is that he hasn't made a good movie since before 1995. Well, True Lies was... What year was True Lies? Was that 94? Little Creek River. I think it's in West... Actually, you know what? Hang on. Oh, have a good one, CLS. Appreciate you dropping by. I want to say Little Creek is around here somewhere, if I remember right. Yep, there it is. There it is. And I'm guessing it's one of these two homesteads. So we'll check there. True Lies was 94. Gotcha. I can never remember if True Lies is 94 or 97. Now we ride. Need to boost Arthur's health. I think the tuberculosis is affecting my health. 97 was Titanic. Yeah, that I remember. It's just I was confused exactly how far apart those are. And I didn't particularly care for Titanic, so I mean, I get what most people like about it, but I thought the movie was kind of bad. Its production value is good, but it never should have won Best Picture. Never should have won Best Picture. That was the same year LA Confidential and I think Jackie Brown came out. Either one of those would have been better. And Jackie Brown wasn't even nominated, which I've always found to be something of a travesty. Because I think Jackie Brown is quite good. But LA Confidential is freaking awesome. I can't carry yarrow, but I can eat it. Give me that yarrow. Yarrow. So the guy started snoring in the theater. That is an understandable response. True Lies 2. Fake Truth's gonna be lit. Arnold and people's freedoms, and Curtis leaves the country due to Trump and constipation. I mean, it sounds like a winner to me. A geriatric spy movie. Oh, yeah. We gotta take down the wanted posters, which might be easier to do during the day. I agree, Waylon. I agree. It is his most underrated movie. I 100% agree. Like, I wouldn't go so far as personally to say I think it's his best movie, but it is the one I probably enjoy the most. I think hangout movies are kind of an underappreciated genre, and I think he did two really great ones. Inglourious Basterds most overrated. I personally love Inglourious Basterds. I think that's an excellent film. I would say the most overrated one, or at least the one that I I'm always surprised when people say they think it's like they say it's their favorite of his is Hateful Eight. I think Hateful Eight's fine, but I think it's one of his worst movies.
Mister, I need that poster. There's been a recall.
I wore corn yesterday. This one's mine, so you can go and get your own.
Hey, you there?
Uh-oh.
Hold up.
It's his Rio Bravo, exactly. Was just a Western meme movie? Yeah, I agree.
Hey, mister.
My favorite is Kill Bill. Yeah, Kill Bill's probably like the most like entertaining movie he did. So wait, this guy has it? Why did the other guy act like he had it? Alright, so let's protect ourselves from the Rona. Yeah, I love the heck out of Kill Bill. And I love both parts. Give me that wanted poster. Best way is to kill people. Oh no, the horse is the one who has it. I could have just stolen the horse. Okay, horsey. Hand it over. This is Leon's best. That's understandable. I'm not sure which one I think is Leon's best. I know that I enjoy Fistful of Dollars more than Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I'm sorry, horsey. I could have just calmed you, but to be perfectly honest, I didn't want to be kicked, so we took the instant glue method. Wait a minute. Nope, the horse didn't have it. I should have been paying attention to my radar. It's on the guy's person. Sorry, horse. Wait, there might... Okay. I thought maybe there was a snake or something because he freaked out. Gimme? I'll take that. Fisting for dollars or $3 for Sister Mary. Yeah, exactly, Liv. It's like, my bad. It's the Alicia Silverstone method of getting wanted posters. Just shoot the horse in the head. It's like, oops, my bad. Should I leave a note? It's like, what do you mean leave a note? You shot the horse's owner too. It's like, well then nobody can be hurt further? Right? There's a wanted poster. A few dollars more might be the best of the trilogy, writing-wise. Yeah. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is just so overblown. I mean, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, like, I think the technique of The Good, the Bad, the Ugly is what people love. And it's fine. I mean, it's, yeah, the technique for that movie is excellent. But, you know, I'm sorry, it's like, I prefer movies that are well written. And I'm not saying Good, the Bad, and the Ugly isn't well written. I think it is well written. But it does meander a lot. Whereas I think for A Fistful of Dollars is like you said, I think it's a better written movie. I think it's more efficient, more entertaining. I came away from that thinking, yeah, I had a better time watching this movie. You know, technique is great. I love me some good technique, but there are some movies that have great technique that are not good. I think Halloween is a movie that has great technique, and I also don't think it's a good movie. I think Halloween is a very poorly written movie, but it utilizes technique well, so that's part of why it's so memorable and why it's considered that's why it's considered very it's considered a classic. I didn't see what you said about Blush. Something about, I'm assuming it's something about what happened in New York. I would take this poster.
Jimmy Holdaker had a weak heart. He died of a heart attack.
First two in the trilogy are better written and more intimate stories. They are down and dirty cowboy films. Good, the Bad, the Ugly is a cowboy opera. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with a cowboy opera. I think cowboy operas are they can be cool. I like movies that have an operatic touch to them. That's pretty neat. But I think in this case, I kind of, at the very least, preferred the first one. I'm not sure which I preferred between the second and the third one. It was epic in my opinion, but just the story and some of those awkward transitions uh, bored the heck out of me. But if I was stuck with one Western for the rest of my life, that one or Tombstone. Interesting. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I enjoy the heck out of Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I think it's awesome. I think it's an awesome movie. It's just if I'm having to pick out of that trilogy, I know I'm picking the first one first. Which one I'd pick second, not totally sure. He said Penny was a racist murderer and that murder is legal in New York apparently. Well, Vosh is an idiot, and the thing he would consider murder what I did to the horse, but more because one of his preferred partners was taken out of the mix. So we know what kind of degenerate he is. So who cares what that goober says? I don't know why anyone puts any stake in what he has to say. He is a freak.
Just how it is.
He's a bloody freak. That's why I don't pay any attention to him. With Tombstone, as it goes back to black and white cowboy films when the actual events were really grim, which I mean, okay, so I think it's fine to do kind of the black and white version of Tombstone. I agree with you that a more honest look at it would have been more interesting, but I think there's room to do that. I think you can have both. The issue I have with Tombstone is that a lot of the writing in that movie is kind of crappy. Now, I still think overall it's a good movie and really entertaining. But people, when I hear people say it's, if you say Tombstone's your favorite Western, I get it. It's very entertaining. When I hear people say it's the greatest Western, I'm like, no, it's not. It's not even close. There are plenty of Westerns way better than Tombstone. It's a very entertaining movie. It's got really cool performances, really charismatic characters. I get what people like, but my gosh, there are some issues with it that stick out like a sore thumb. I'm pretty sure we covered that on MMM some months back. And I think everyone came away with a pretty, honest take on it, which was, was great. But yeah, when I see people act like it's the greatest Western, I'm like, no, there are like dozens of Westerns that are better than Tombstone. Heck, Eastwood has probably like 5 to 10 of them by himself that are better. Love story and Tombstone is a drag, yeah. And that could have been done more interesting.
The medicine man, huh?
The one who wanted me to suck out the poison.
I will owe you my whole life.
But I think the entire Dollars trilogy is better than Tombstone. Pale Rider's better than Tombstone. High Plains Drifter's better than Tombstone. Hang 'em High I think is probably better than Tombstone. Outlaw Josie Wales is better than Tombstone. I mean, he's got quite a few.
Having conquered evil the way I have, it's the least a humble man.
Claim a single free item in the Rhodes General Store. Neat.
Guy with the snake bites says I
Eastwood and John Wayne each have 5 Westerns better than Tombstone. Yeah, I'll tell you, I'll be honest. John Wayne Westerns, I really need to get into more of them because he is kind of a massive blind spot in my filmography. I have not watched a lot of John Wayne. I keep meaning to, and I always forget. Maverick's. It's been a long time since I watched Maverick, but I remember liking it quite a bit. Let me see. Lonesome Dove. Really? I've always heard good things about Lonesome Dove. Interesting. I'd always heard good things about that. Sorry, I was taking another drink. I can send a list of where to start. I mean, I know some movies of his, but as far as if you think there's a good way to get started, yeah, feel free to. Lonesome Dove is epic. Don't listen to Whitey. Yeah, I actually I've always have been interested in Lonesome Dove. I see how it is. They locked this. I was kind of interested in this outfit. I mean, the hat sucks, but depressed for a week, watch Lonesome Dove. I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind movies that are a bit depressing. That's fine with me. I mean, you were calling 310 to Yuma depressing the other day, and I was like, Whitey, that movie's not depressing. I know. Okay, if you haven't seen 310 to Yuma, please close your ears or hit the mute button real quick and come back in about 30 seconds. I don't want to spoil that. But 310 to Yuma is an outstanding movie, and yeah, the ending, you could argue, is sad, but it's not depressing. Because literally, like, the main guy, he does what he set out to do against all odds. I think it's, in that way, very uplifting. Yeah, I adore 310 to Yuma, the remake I'm talking about. I think it's absolutely spectacular. Lonesome Dove, Everything Goes Wrong. I mean, but you can do good movies like that. I mean, what was the one that we did on Jacob Ironside's channel? Shoot, why am I blanking on that? Oh crap! Why is my mind going blank on this movie? It's a western. This is like it has like one of the most like sad endings or depressing endings of any western ever. Okay, start with Stagecoach, The Searchers, Rio Bravo, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. Yeah, I think I have the majority of these. I just haven't watched them yet. If you don't mind, I can probably remember these anyway. But yeah, those are easy enough to remember. I know he did like movies like True Grit, and I think he did another one just called Rooster Cogburn. Don't be shading Brokeback Mountain now. I never bothered to watch Brokeback Mountain, nor do I intend to. I'm afraid. McClintock for what the heck? Want me to DM a list to you? Yeah, you can. I mean, that's totally fine. Let's see. Let's view this. That's pretty slick. I like that. Why am I blanking on the movie? The Great Silence. That's the one I'm thinking of. I think The Great Silence is a fantastic Western, but holy crap, it's dark. Like, that is a dark film. I tell you what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get some fancy. I didn't mean accessories. I want boots. Get your slimy web phalanges off my boots. Tornado boots. Let's look at the tornado boots. Those are cool looking. We're getting these. I like those.
Let him know. You're paying next time, though.
Well, you say that, but how do you know a snake's not going to bite you and you'll need me to suck out the poison? Hello, Boosh. Good to see you. You came at an opportune enough time to hear me say suck out the poison, so good. Great Silence is one of the best westerns ever. I have been trying to get Vex to watch it for months. Worst part is, you can't argue the ending wasn't logical. I completely agree. I mean, it is an exceedingly dark movie. But you cannot, like you said, you can't argue that that's not a logical conclusion, because it absolutely is. It's pretty dang good. I was very impressed with it. We did that one on Jacob Ironside's channel a few months ago, and I was like, whew. Nancy Pelosi said Christ is her savior. Your lack of repentance says otherwise, Miss Pelosi. I mean, he certainly can save you, but that sounds like political pandering as far as I'm concerned, and I ain't buying it. Sergio Carbucci was inspired by the death of Malcolm X. Really? That's interesting. Locate Camille de Beaumont near Catfish Jackson's. Near Leroy Jenkins. I'll tell you one of my favorite westerns. I don't care what anyone says. One of my favorite westerns is Rango. I think Rango is a great Western. I freaking love it. Exactly. It's not like she supports. Well, yeah, and that's just one of the things she supports. So it's like, yeah, this is anti-Christian, so it's just posturing. If they actually looked into what Jesus stood for, they would hate him. Which effectively they do. But they would acknowledge they hate him. Clint Eastwood wanted to do an American adaptation of that movie. Interesting.
Hey, friend. Hello. How was in town?
Exactly. Rango's
Pretty
awesome.
hot. There's quite a
I'll try
price
to.
on
I've been
it.
trying to get Vex to watch 310 to Yuma recently, so yeah, we're planning on doing, I think, a Western month, or we've talked about doing a Western month on MMM. So
But he died before I could.
yeah,
Secondly, well, he had it coming.
I'm almost positive that if she hasn't watched 310 to Yuma by then, we'll get her to during that month. But might have to throw the Great Silence in there if we haven't picked all of our movies yet.
Ain't no business of mine. Here's the posters. Thanks, partner. That's that, then. That's that. Free at last. Free from you, at
310
least.
to It's Not a Tuma.
Not quite. Anyone's on our trail. You're right. Too risky to split up now. Two sets of eyes is better than one.
Eastwood convinced the studio head of 20th Century Fox to buy it sight unseen. Once the guy saw it, he was horrified and refused to distribute it. That sucks. Oh, shoot. There we go.
Easy, boy.
Hello again, Boosh. She supports spreading plague, false imprisonments. She's a pathological liar and a sexual degenerate. And she is a thief. Not very Christian now.
Yep.
I mean, here's the thing. You could be guilty of all of that. You could be guilty of all of that. But it's the part, like you said, she supports it. Which shows what your values are. Everyone's a hypocrite when it comes to their values. We all betray our values. It's the fact that you maintain wicked values that show that, no, you're not a Christian. You don't have Christian values. Oh my gosh. The project by Eastwood turned into Joe Kid. Waylon is gone. I am able to type and Red Dead at the same time. Let's get some stage. We're all in Western mode, so 310 to Yuma, the original or the remake? The remake. I prefer the remake. I've seen the original once. I liked it a lot. It was really, really good. But I prefer the remake in this instance. I'm actually curious which one I'll prefer, remake or original, with True Grit. I've heard most people actually, and I've seen the Coen's version of True Grit, and I loved it. I'm curious about which I'll prefer between the original and the remake there, because I've heard a lot of people say that the remake is better.
Back so soon?
Get some High Noon on MMM. I am very fond of High Noon. I've watched High Noon a couple of times. I think what's interesting about High Noon is, of course, like historically, like the person who wrote it was hoping that, like, it was meant to be a kind of a relatively communist Western film, but it did it so poorly, and it rightfully got picked up by more conservative people, and they were like, they celebrated the individualism of it and the values of it, and it's like, you thought this was gonna be a pro-commie Western? What were you thinking? It's like, you're an idiot. And like the guy who wrote it ended up disowning it.
Oh, it is, Arthur. I promise, it's very right.
Head north, up the road, past Face Rock. Wagon full of antiques, coming from the northeast. Headed for a buyer in Rhodes. Should be only a couple of guards delivered to Shamus and Emerald Ranch. Careful not to damage the wagon or the cargo. 210 True Grit is better. It's close to the book. Interesting. I didn't even know there was a book. Shows what I know. But that just makes me more interested in the book now. All right, so let's go rube us a stagecoach.
Yeah.
So, do we rob this stagecoach the easy way or the hard way? Easy way being we just ride in there, start blasting, or do we stop them and then try to be all sneaky with our thievery? Alright, let's get riding. High Noon actually has really good points to make about community and duty. There's plenty of critiques of society. Yeah, it does. It does. It's just it's baffling that people with communist values thought that, oh, this will be perfect for our side. And we were like, you think so? Let's see. Need to boost our Deadeye. Let's eat some candy.
Look out!
More candy! Let's scroll through a bit. Okay. I was kind of hoping to rob this thing in the dark, and it's coming up on daylight, but that's fine. I don't mind robbing in the day. See how close we're getting to it. Alright, still a ways off. Marine from Western Arkansas who loved the history of the area. Cool. Cool. I know I've read Elmore Leonard, because I know Elmore Leonard wrote 310 to Yuma, and I'm pretty sure I've read it. I think I've got it. I think I've got 310 to Yuma, like it's in a book of some of his like short stories. High Noon is Bill Clinton's favorite movie. Interesting. I really like the Trigger remake. Yeah, Trigger remake's pretty freaking cool. Pretty dang good movie. I liked it. I need to watch that again soon. It's been a little while. I know I liked that a lot. We might be going off track just for a sec. Let's see how close that is. It's more an accurate adaptation. Aviation Eden. Alright, we're gonna mark this here. I want to come back there. Because it looks like we might have a raider camping. We can take them out. Mask up. Uh, 1800s Predator Whitey. I think there would be a long list of movies that could be edited from taking their lore back to the 1800s. 1800s Rambo, 1800s Harry Potter, 1800s Terminator. It's funny you mentioned that, actually, because I'll tell you one that I've been pondering lately that I think would be really cool to do as a Western is a movie like Judge Dredd. I mean, because Judge Dredd, I think, has some very obvious Western trappings to it.
Yep.
And it's very possible there are movies like Judge Dredd that are Westerns, but I think if there aren't, there's a lot you could do with Judge Dredd in a Western.
Easy.
I think that would be quite cool. Yeah. Alright, so let's hide. Force the wagon to stop. You can use L2 while unarmed to talk to the coach driver. Okay, let's try the chatty approach, because otherwise we're probably just gonna, off these fools.
Hey, stop! What's the problem? Your back left wheel seems shaky to me. Looks like it's about to come off. Yeah? Ah, shit. Maxwell, go take a look. Right.
I don't see how this helps us. Let's see. A good steampunk movie would be cool. Wild Wild West and that Atlantic City or one were extremely not good. Yeah.
Well, I know expert, but looks all right to me. Feels fine driving. All right, let's just get to roads and we'll have.
Yeah, we're gonna have to I think we're gonna have to kill these folks. There's too many to hog tie. We don't want no witnesses.
Easy, easy.
Takes a village to raise a child about Jordan. Well, it appears that village didn't do a very good job, did it? So poo-poo on that notion. Look at all this art. I almost forgot that we were supposed to steal the entire carriage, so I'd be careful not to,
God damn it!
dirty bodies make for dirty cowboys. What's up, Vex? Good to see ya. Come with me, horsey. We've been talking about westerns. Up, just ran over a body. Society failed Neely. Is that the new tact they're taking because they're realizing, maybe it's not a good idea to call for riots and saying, oh, that guy got up with Maida. Catch in the background while I cook lunch at work. Cool, cool. This is going to be nicer. Yeah, because that's what we need. A nice version of Grand Theft Auto. I mean, I'll be honest. If to me, the deal breaker with GTA more than anything is if the rumors about its price point are true. Like, if it's true they're going to charge $100 to $150 for a GTA base game, I'm like, I'm not buying that. I will not spend that much money on a single game. It's like, if you want me to spend $100 to $150, you better include, like, some collectibles and memorabilia and, stuff like that. Like, when I bought the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, I bought the version that had, like, the Commander Shepard helmet and, like, some cool, like, art and whatnot, but, what is this? The British version of GTA? Sadly, there was actually... You know what's sad? Love it. Back, during the PS2 era, there was a British version of GTA. It was called The Getaway, and it was really good. It was really freaking cool. And they would never make that now. I'm not the biggest fan of Taylor Sheridan Westerns. I feel like Taylor Sheridan's better with, like movies like Sicario and Wind River. I love those. But from what I've heard about, like, Yellowstone, his Westerns they don't work very good. The original GTA was set in London. I haven't played the original GTA. It was more that top-down kind of game. But, like, I'm talking, like, more like The Getaway was more in line with, like, GTA 3, that kind of gameplay, but it was, set in London, and it was really freaking cool. It was very Guy Ritchie.
Got something here for you.
I love Hell or High... Yeah, Hell or High Water's fantastic. Fantastic. Love that movie.
How the hell you get it so beat up? And this is for you.
Was it beat up? What are you talking about? Like 40 women and a couple of figs. Oh no. Apparently it wasn't beat up. They gave me a gold medal for it. That's just your in-game dialogue talking. They're gonna ask for some Grey Poupon. Pardon me, may I borrow your vehicle? I promise I will return it. Like, GTA, like, the fun of GTA is that it's satirical. I mean, granted, I guess GTA 4 is probably, I guess, a little bit more serious, but even that has its, its satire baked in. I mean, the sad thing, like, to me, the sad thing is GTA is probably going to make gobs of money regardless of what they do, so Now the question, of course, will be, will it have the staying power of GTA 5? Like, that'll be the big question. Like, I have very little doubt that it will make money. The question is, will it have GTA 5 staying power? Yeah, the fun of GTA is freedom. League of Extraordinary Gender adapted by Guy Ritchie. It sounds a lot better than what I remember the original movie being. Who's this feller? Is he a good one? Or is he... or they? It's a pair of guys. Hey, fellas. Are we friendly?
You ain't supposed to be here.
Hi there, mister.
You ain't supposed to be here. Get lost.
Oh, don't mind me.
Apparently they're not very friendly. I don't know why.
I told you.
Shut in.
That's it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. We just... we were just doing a little bit of verbal sparring. We didn't have to turn it into anything like this. But if you like, we can. He's still alive. Oh, he's bleeding out. He's bleeding out. I wanted to see that. I love those parts. I think that's one of the coolest mechanics of this game, when they're just like streaming blood all over the place. Like, bleh. I think it's awesome. Dang, he has that like Wyatt Earp mustache going. Or he had. Because you see, he's no longer living. That's my bread. I wanted to break bread. Arthur should try investing in Hawk Tuah coin. I think his investment in tuberculosis is less fatal. That story's just funny to me, though. Leave that to Sadie. Hey now. Yeah, gotta be disrespecting my girl there. I like Sadie. Sadie would never invest in Hawk Tuah. She would hunt that Hawk Tuah girl down. Hang her. She been ripping folks off.
Time to go, boy.
Shoot that thing. What do you think is the problem with modern westerns? Well, it depends on which ones, because I mean, like, for one thing, they're more difficult to define, because, you know, westerns, a lot of western themes are very much of their time. Now, that doesn't mean you can't incorporate them into a modern setting. Like, I think No Country for Old Men, if you want to call that a great modern western, I agree. Dude, I just rode by. You know what? Fine. We'll leave it be. Angry feller. My goodness. I think No Country for Old Men is probably the best example we have of a modern western. I was actually watching... I've been watching videos on that these past couple of days, just because I love the movie so much. And I love some of the theories about, like, Shigur actually being a ghost. Because that's something you can do a lot with, and is very much, you know, in line with Western movies. But I think what a lot of, you know, Hell or High Water, exactly, that's a really great example of one. I think what gets lost with a lot of modern Western attempts... No, wait, no. Well, okay, so I do think we're on the same page. I was about to ask to clarify, but it seems like you bring up Hell or High Water shows we are on the same page on it. Because I was curious if by modern Western you meant just Westerns made today or Westerns set in the modern day, but it seems like we're on the same page. I think they miss that a lot of the time. Like, part of what Westerns do so well is they incorporate kind of spiritual themes and even supernatural elements that they have no shame about doing that. Like, part of what makes Westerns, I think, work really well is they're not fully grounded in reality. Like, there often are things going on that you can't explain and that you shouldn't explain. And I think modern movies, there is a hyper focus on over explaining everything. And this is just one issue. This isn't like an overarching issue that's a problem with all of them or anything. I'm not trying to fix the entire problem, but we always try to over explain everything. Like, okay, let's use Red Dead here for an example. One of my favorite things about the Red Dead games are the things they leave up to your imagination. Like, both this game and the first one bring up the Blackwater heist, but they haven't shown you it. You know some of the events, but some of them are left up in the air. So they leave that to your imagination. I love that. I love that they're not explaining that, and I hope they never fully do. I think keeping that stuff out in the ether for you to imagine how it went down is far more effective. But we have a tendency now with movies to where everything has to have a backstory. We have to explain everything. We have to show everything. We were talking about this with Alien Covenant last night. Is Ridley Scott wanting to explain the origins of the xenomorph? And I'm just like, why? You don't need to. They're far scarier if you don't explain them. So yeah, it's just there's a lot of issues plaguing modern westerns, and why it's difficult to make effective ones. And I think those are some of the problems I think that they have. You know, is that the entirety of the problem? No, but I mean, shoot, the other problem is just the same problem as that a lot of movies have just in general, is they're written poorly. I call it narrative hand-holding. Yep, that's a huge one. On the other side, older westerns were usually too clean-looking and not lived in. Also, what's with modern ones and making how they talk sound like they're both the most intelligent and the least? That's a good question. TDK, a modern one. The Dark Knight? I mean, you could argue there's Western sensibilities in that, but would I call it a Western? No. I would more just say that's where there's crossover in themes. Just the themes are universal. It's like you could certainly argue certain points of it borrow from Westerns, but I don't think it's an attempt at a Western by any stretch. If that is the movie you're referring to, it's usually when I see TDK, it's like, oh no, I'm not saying you said that. I was a little surprised to even hear it at all. We never needed an origin, but I did like Joker and Batman '89. I do too. Well, and really, I don't think that Todd Phillips' Joker movie is meant to be an origin story for the comic version of the Joker. I think he just decided, I think what he was doing there was, I'm going to take kind of the pathos of the Joker, and I'm going to try to ground it into a realistic version of a person who could go this way. But then he decided to make a sequel. And it's like, why did you do that? Didn't need a sequel. Leave it alone. It's far more effective if you just leave it alone. I was talking about that. Okay, yeah. Thought you were. It's usually when I see those initials, that's what I figure is being talked about. But it was such a... I've never heard that before, so I wanted to make sure. I was like, really? The Dark Knight? People call that a Western. That's interesting. That's the Professor. Let's go there. And like the way that Burton did it with his version of Batman, I thought was perfectly fine. I like it. I mean, here's the thing. I don't mind when they... I mean, I think there's multiple ways you can approach some of that stuff, but the difference between like a comic book movie and the Alien franchise is that the Alien franchise isn't something where there's supposed to be multiple universes in the Alien canon. Now, technically there are, because we have the AVP movies, and as far as I know, Ridley Scott has said those are not part of the canon, which, that's fine. I understand that. But for the most part, that's not a franchise that is supposed to be divided with multiple adaptations here and there. They're supposed to more or less all fit together. But it's like you're far better off not over-explaining the origin of the xenomorphs. Whereas with something like Batman, whenever whenever it gets booted up, rebooted, it's just like, okay, this is just a separate take on it. Oh, jeez. Okay, here we go. Got a little. Got some folks that want to kill. Ooh. Oh. Imagine calling somebody lucky when you're trying to murder them. It's like, you're trying to make sure I don't remain lucky. If you actually believe I am, then why are you trying to kill me? You know you're gonna die. I'm lucky.
Okay then.
I'd be taking myself out in Minecraft hell if I lived in those realities.
What?
But yeah, like comic adaptations allow you to have multiple takes on the character. That's all I take him for. Nolan, like Christopher Nolan's trilogy, it's his take on the Batman character, and for the most part, I enjoy it. And I mean, granted, it's flawed all over the place, but I enjoy the take all the same. Same with Burton. Matt Reeves is doing his take on it, so you can just kind of reboot it in various different ways, and you don't have to relate one version to the other. That's fine. That's why you can get away with a Joker origin story here, but then another one that does it the other way. Nolan's version of Joker doesn't have the backstory that Burton's does. So, Bat Reeves. Yeah. Batthew Reeves. Is Batthew the long version of Bat? I don't know. Bartholomew? Maybe. Excuse me. It's my $2. I really wish we could get a proper Frank Miller Batman in live action. That'd be nice. That would be nice. GTA 6 announced it would be less crude towards transgenders and minorities. Yeah, they announced that actually a while back. Which I'm like, well then, what are we doing here? The thing is, it's like they act like they were being crude to them in the first place, and I'm like, not really. I mean, maybe transgenders, but I'm like, were y'all really being crude, or were y'all just telling jokes? It's like, I thought jokes were more the point, which should be fine. Bat Masterson says yes, yeah. A social worker with feelings to deal with hard criminals. The social worker solution. Was a dangerous man, Indian fighter, gunfighter, and buffalo hunter. Where you can mercilessly eviscerate any human being at any time with strip clubs. And now this is too far? Yeah. It's like, maybe it'll be called GTB. It'll be called Grand Theft Borrow. Let's just go all the way with it. Let's just make it a really nice game where you don't steal cars, you carpool. What is going? Oh well. GTQ plus. Okay, Israel. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that. I don't know if you got that from somewhere else, but I haven't seen that anywhere. That's funny. That's pretty good. It's not theft if it's from the rich person. Exactly. You're only stealing cars from rich people now. Well, good. Pat yourself on the back for that one, Israel. That was a good I guess not wordplay, but acronym play. That was good. Biden is going to release criminals from prisons before Trump takes office. Yep. Which, well, what, you mean like the January 6th ones? No, Israel. If you want to go that route, go GTA Tran Andreas. That's how you do that. Going blind by the time he got killed in Deadwood. Yeah, I've heard that before.
Where's this shine?
Speaking of excellent westerns, the Deadwood series. I need to finish that still. I haven't finished it all the way through. I've gotten through the first like 2+ seasons. I haven't finished the whole thing. And I need to watch the movie, but gosh, Deadwood is good. Okay, I wasn't sure who you meant when you said, oh, so we got another stagecoach? I didn't even... Okay. Cool. I haven't seen Yellowstone. I've heard some people say it's not very good.
Oh, no, you ain't.
Okay.
You ain't getting nothing.
Oh. Put one right through the noggin on that dude.
Yep. Throw it up. Yeah, shine all right. Let's get you home.
Follow me, horsey. Young Guns 1 and 2 were fun, bit campy and cheap at times, but yeah. I didn't see the second one. I saw the first one. I want to make sure I don't damage this, but shoot, I don't need to pause it. I just need to do that. There's a lot of button presses I'm still never fully used to. Make sure I don't crash or end up in the mud or anything like that. I know y'all still chatting, and I will get to them. Young Guns 2. I know the first Young Guns had Jenny Wright in it from Near Dark. I especially remember that because I made a crack on it on Blue Collar's chat. I was in his chat while they were talking about it, and they lost their crap over some comment I made. And it was a very simple pun, but I guess it just hit them right. Get out of the way. We are taking the moonshine.
So, I got your moonshine.
You're a wonderful
Silverado.
man.
I've seen too many times now
You
to
got my money?
rewatch
It's for
for a
very good
year, but I
cause.
love it.
My
I've
name
never
is
watched
Professor
Silverado.
Andrew Bell III. Perhaps you've heard of me.
Can't say that I have.
Oh, I'm
There
an
was a
inventor.
gunfighter
Maybe
called
you've
Dallas
read about me.
Stoudemire, and he famously
Well,
killed
I
3
don't
men
read
in
much.
10 seconds in El Paso.
That's too bad.
Noise.
Oh, yes.
You got my money?
Smells like somebody
It's
died.
the most wonderful invention, friend. Oh,
Yeah, I need to see that.
You've done a great
All
deed.
I've done is get some creep a lot of drink.
Creepers. Excellent.
Needed more
Nonsense.
grid.
Now, you've
Noise.
helped me develop the most humane machine imaginable. A way to induce calmness to our most troubled souls. A way to end the barbarity of a public hanging. Oh, so humane.
What are you talking about?
The electric chair.
What?
See, it's fascinating. It calmly and peacefully dispatches the sinners to face judgment. Yes, judgment. Yeah.
Where is it?
Wait, are they
Well,
calling?
it's in my laboratory. The next thing I need is
Are they claiming this is the guy who invented the electric chair? I thought that was like Thomas Edison or something.
Do you know the police chief?
Oh no! I've been clipped into my horse. We've merged. I'm an unholy, abominable centaur of sorts.
It will help bring this
Oh my
town to
gosh!
the next century.
What happened?
Yes.
Arthur! This is worse than the tuberculosis. That was horrifying. That was terrifying. Alright, we need to now. Let's see, we got. Oh, it's the perv. Edison invented it, kinda. Predictions for the Buffalo at Detroit and Pittsburgh at Philly. Ooh. I'm gonna say Detroit beats Buffalo. Though they could have a bounce back game. I'm just trying to figure out. I guess maybe did Buffalo sustain defensive injuries and that's why they played bad, or did they just really have a bad game? But it's gonna be hard to keep up with Detroit scoring. And if it's at Detroit, that's all the harder. But then again, they could be breaking a big winning streak, so that could go either way. I'll lean Detroit still. Philly and Pittsburgh. I'll say Philly wins that one, but that's both of those games are very interesting. Let's stop here. Well, actually, let's hitch up our horsey.
Oh, hello there. Could you move?
What do you mean, could you move? I'm hitching up my horse, lady. Lady!
So sorry.
Hey, careful now.
Oh, don't worry about it. I didn't see it. You're good, Whitey. Alright, let's walk up the stairs and chat with our resident pilot. I think Eastwood was quietly influenced more by Carbucci in his westerns than Leon.
Enjoy the show.
Texas lost against Georgia just because my A&M
So don't come asking for a
relative bias. Interesting.
What's this show then?
Mr. Charles Chatternet. Go and see for yourself, but don't blame me.
Okay.
Just don't like how much time you're spending with the man is all.
Just wait until you see his work. It's very progressive.
Well, what's so very shocking
no.
about progression, paintings or otherwise.
Come on.
Progressive. See, they're poking fun at progressives here.
Like
That's funny.
I promise.
That should be totally fine with them.
Hold on. Let me compose myself.
Got an Aggie in here.
Party.
Do you think in Georgia they call them agates? Or, I guess, well, no, in Texas they would call them agates. You bunch of massive agates.
I think that it's Greek.
Just throw your lit match on the couch and move on.
Could be wrong.
Exactly. Hello, lurking Nadia. Good to see you. We always appreciate a good look.
You know, it's Italian most likely.
Oh, here's the pervy gallery.
Far too modern for my taste.
Let's see. Naked person. I think it's a naked dude, which he drew kind of goofy. There's more naked people. There's more naked people. Seems to be a running theme here.
Excuse me, Mr.
Alabama missed the playoffs. They
Could you
did
paint
indeed.
some drawers on her?
Madame, I paint her in her natural state, as she was and will be in paradise.
There's nothing
It's a
natural
naked dude
about
from the
that.
river you're in it.
Of
Yeah.
civilization, repression.
Scandalous.
Naked is to be free, innocent, alive. Like Buddha said, you know, we are all just here to fuck.
Explains the difference of
What the heck? Did Buddha say that? I've never seen that on one of my fortune cookies.
Henry, is that your behind? Why would you be showing it to that man?
That's my mama. As nude as the day she was born.
Stop looking at my husband's buttocks.
Stop looking at my mama.
Well, maybe she shouldn't expose herself like that.
This is disgusting.
Was it Buddha or Booty?
Come on,
I'm
Mildred.
sure.
This is no place
I'm
for
90% sure Nick Saban left because he lost control. Maybe. This dude took you down to go fishing and you run into the naked dude? Yeah.
Hey.
All right.
Oh, shoot. I want to fight one of the women. Wreck the paintings! Ow! Racist.
Hey, where you gone off to, Frenchman?
Now let's loot these strangers. I hope they have money. I'm not a Kevin Costner fan. I mean, I'm relatively indifferent towards Kevin Costner. Some of his movies I like, some I'm not too fond of. It depends on the movie. But I don't consider his movies like destination viewing necessarily. I don't watch a movie because Kevin Costner's in it. I don't think I can loot any of these folk. I need my hat. I think he's a terrible actor. I think he's an inconsistent one. I think he's good in some movies, but he's very inconsistent with his performances. He's limited. Like, I like Dances with Wolves a lot. I think that's a really good movie. But then you could point at certain other ones and be like, holy crap, that was freaking cringe. But, yeah, I think he's an actor with limitations.
This way, come on.
$3,000 to Graceland is fun. I've heard that's fun. I've never seen it.
It was not boring.
It was not.
I'm sorry.
The Postman, boo.
I thought I was a fraud, a no-talent brushwasher. Now I'm not sure. We provoke emotions, no?
You keep provoking emotions like that, and all your canvases will have punch holes through.
I told you I was a whole ass.
You did, and you are.
All of these pervy painters. I think he'd be better on stage rather than the movies. His range is beyond. Yeah. And the irony being he was in a western called Open Range.
That picture I gave you, it will be worth something someday.
It should have been called Limited Range.
Right now, seems like the only thing it'd get me is kicking the balls.
Oh, you are funny, you know. I hope to see you again sometime. Hey, mister.
Just don't paint me.
Angel, my little bird.
I know Vex won't be happy about me saying that, but she's like, no, let him paint Arthur. Open Range is good. His acting is terrible in Open Range. Interesting. I own Open Range. I just haven't watched it yet. Come to me, horsey. You sure are right. Yep. She's like, let him paint. I think Red Dead 2 should, once you beat it, it should open a no consequence mode. So where you could just walk around just popping fools. Just for the heck of it. What are you talking about, dude? What's your problem? Racist. We shouldn't bring up the live story with Open Range. It makes tombstones look good. Oh no! It's that shill for the 19th Amendment. Just like the hooker gourd accidentally ran over. Exactly. Get permission to demonstrate the electric chair. Oh, yeah. Excuse me, can I kill somebody with a chair? It's like, no, you can't beat someone to death with a chair. But what if I electrocute them? Is it okay then? Oh, well, yeah, then it's fine. Nice.
I can't possibly help you. I'm representing the inventor of a humane execution machine. An electric chair.
We call it the chair of flaying.
Demonstrate his invention here.
I'm familiar with the man and his work.
Go word save and rob a bank.
But it's gonna cost you $100 in fees.
$100 in fees? Fine. Do I get to take one of these prisoners with me?
Well, price is fair. Here you go.
And here, sir, is your permit. Pending the usual formalities, of course, such as
finding a suitable candidate for humane dispatchment.
Humane dispatchment.
Good luck.
1,500? That's a lot of... No, it was just 100 to kill him. Oh, you're talking about like the amount that I have? Yeah, I got a decent little chunk of money. I've accumulated through various watch and earring and other valuables belonging to other people sales. I assure you that my method of execution is, generally speaking, far more humane than this guy's version of the electric chair, which will probably take a while. Any y'all ever seen The Green Mile? Actually, I don't think I've even seen this, whatever scene we're leading up to. Are we actually going to get to see someone die in the electric chair? I think that would be funny. Did I say funny? I guess it depends on who we electrocute.
What's the problem? What's your damn?
Like, if we do an electric chair thing where we trick some mall Santa into sitting in it and, like, he and the kid on his lap are the ones we zap, okay, that maybe not... Funny might not be the right word. But if it is a killer or a horrible, horrible person, it's like, it could be funny.
You think I'm interested in whatever?
How far am I human? Oh my gosh, I love to see him bleed out. I just meant generally speaking. It's so rare we actually get to see them bleed out. It's a novelty I appreciate. It's all I'm saying.
Hello, friend.
Hello, Professor
Andrew Bell the Third.
That's it. So, the chief
Professor
says you can test out
Shocky
your
Murder Chair.
formalities.
And what are they?
Finding a suitable subject.
Yeah.
Funny you should mention. This fella here, he seems sturdy enough, and he's guilty as sin.
Wilson J. McDaniels, wanted for murder, bigamy, and immoral animal husbandry. What's that?
Okay, yep, that is absolutely a good candidate.
Here, find him for me, and help me put him out of his
Why do you have
misery.
black prayer hands? Come on, Vex. We know why. We know why. We've seen him backstage. We know. Those are some properly appropriated hands. Opinion on Gangs of New York. A very interesting story that is not especially well casted, and it has some genuinely terrible filmmaking choices for the battle scenes, as well as music choices. Like, that's a movie that I think should have been great, but it's one of the worst directorial efforts of Scorsese's career, oddly. I think it's one of the laziest bits of filmmaking he's ever done, and it's really sad because, gosh, Daniel Day-Lewis is good in it. Good. He's freaking great in it. Like, Day-Lewis is the reason to watch the movie, but some of the scenes, the editing is atrocious. And Cameron Diaz's casting is just awful. Holy crap, it's bad. But, I don't hate the movie, because, again, it's like, I think Day-Lewis is probably my favorite actor of all time. So, and he's incredible in it, and yes, again, he's terrifying in the movie. He is such an awesome character. So, for his performance and character, I enjoy the movie, and I think DiCaprio's fine. I mean, I'm not saying he's bad in it or anything. I just say he gets outshined in it. But, Cameron Diaz is awful in it. Whoa, what's happening?
Yep.
Oh, you live.
God bless you, mister.
What was that other shot there? He just took one last shot before he died. Yeah, she doesn't fit and her acting sucks. Like like I wouldn't quite go so far as to say she's Sophia Coppola of the movie. Her acting isn't that bad, but she's not good in the movie, and she does bring it down. I think my phone thinks I'm black now. It only automatically comes up with the black emojis. Awesome. That's your phone is affirming your choice to live as a black man. So I mean, how can that be bad? Deadeye and health. She's a 90s rich girl from LA in a historical fiction film based in New York. Still waiting on my reparation, but until then, time to fry some chicken. You see, that's funny because I know you're actually doing that, as far as I know. White ain't no poser. He's really making chicken. We saw him making the broth. Alright. Arthur doesn't need sleep. Sleep is gay. I'm actually starting to think I probably should let him sleep. Alright, let's go off here. Let's let him camp, let him get some rest. I personally feel The Departed is Scorsese's best. I mean, I really like The Departed. It's not my favorite of his, but it is a really good one. Even a great one, I would say. I lean more towards, like, Goodfellas. I like Casino a bit more. I personally like The Departed more than Taxi Driver. I think Taxi Driver is slightly overblown. What's the other one? Raging Bull. That's another really great one. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I don't know exactly where I would rate that. I think the American Film Institute overrated it. They had it like as one of their top 5 movies ever, and I'm like, I wouldn't go that high on Raging Bull. But Raging Bull is pretty great, but Goodfellas is, to me, the best Scorsese movie. And I think that The Departed is a superior remake to its original. I think it's a much better movie than Infernal Affairs, which, granted, I think Infernal Affairs is really good, but I think The Departed did that idea significantly better. Uh-oh. Okay. The Departed is better than which? It's original or better than Taxi Driver? Not necessarily saying it's better than Taxi Driver. I'm saying I like it more. I don't know if I would go so far as to say I think it's better. But if you were referring to the Infernal Affairs, it's way better. Like, Infernal Affairs is like... Push. Infernal Affairs is a solid movie, but it's like a 6. It's like a 6, whereas I think The Departed is more like an 8. At least.
Take whatever you want from my pack for saving me. Oh.
Here, this'll help with the pain at least.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I do think Scorsese did a better job with that idea. It's like, okay, well, I think you're all right now, so we'll just leave you and your bloody leg be, and hope that no predators get you. This will help with the pain. Bang. I'm not gonna say I was close to doing it because I wasn't, but did the thought cross my mind before Bush made the comment? Probably. Maybe. Yes. But I didn't do it. So let's not get all Minority Report up in here. I think. Was a hero only for the end. Obviously, his assassination attempt on a politician is bad, but... Well, the interesting... Yeah, I mean, him going after the pimps at the end, it's like... I mean, you certainly can't argue... I mean, it's very much vigilante justice, but one of the interesting, thought-provoking, questions that you ask regarding vigilante justice is, at what point does vigilantism become a necessity? Because there are cities where the law wholeheartedly fails. Like Taxi Driver is one that's especially interesting because of where it takes place and how its relevance, you could argue, has very much increased over the years. Have you ever heard of the doomed Tripoli project from the early 2000s? I think I have, but I'm vague on the details. It's been a while. When you mess with children, it's totally... Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like, you definitely can't argue over his reasoning being bad. I think it's one of those things where it's like, if you remember, there was that story out of, what was it, Germany or Russia, where the guy, like, executed the pedo, and most people were like, pin a medal on him. I think that's what most people's sentiment probably was. It's like, pin a medal on him. But vigilante justice is very thirst quenching. Was it Russia? Okay, I couldn't remember if it was Russia or Germany. But yeah, most people were just like, pin a medal on him. Who cares? Who cares what happened to the pedo? The weird thing is there are some people who would categorize what Penny did as vigilantism. I was like, that wasn't vigilantism. He was literally stopping something in the moment. It was a form of protection / self-defense, if anything. It's like, it wasn't vigilantism. It was a particularly brutal... Yeah, the Russian... Yeah, I don't remember exactly what he did, but yeah, what he did to the guy was pretty brutal, but... Do you think Bickle is De Niro's best performance? No, I would say Raging Bull is probably his best performance. His performance in Raging Bull is just incredible. I'm trying to think, there might be another one that's also a candidate that I'm not thinking of. Bloody hell. Alright, you're drunk horse. The Penny case is a perfect example of F around and find out. Yeah. Raging Bull is so overrated. His performance isn't. His performance is, like, love or hate the movie, his performance in Raging Bull is incredible. Oh no, we slipping and sliding. Oh, okay, so that's the bounty. Nero as Corleone. Yeah, Godfather 2's performance in that is also excellent. That is another one. I'm trying to think of some of his other ones. He's great in Goodfellas, but he's not even the standout in that movie. I think Ray Liotta gets overlooked almost for Goodfellas. I think people forget how good he was in that. You okay, horsey? That hurt. Oh no, we got a horse revive. You regard Raging Bull as among Scorsese's best? It's utter BS. I disagree. I think it is among his best. Is it his best? No. Is it among them? Yeah. I think it's a pretty spectacular character study. I would agree that it's overrated, like at least by some people, because like I said, when AFI put it like in their top 5, I was like, okay, calm down. It's not that good. But I'll get to your question in a sec, Bend Over, because among as in the top 5 for Scorsese, I think there's an argument Raging Bull is in his top 5. Would it be amongst my top 5 favorite? Probably at the back end if it is, but I'm not even sure I would put it in the back end. But as far as the craft is concerned, it probably is, or at least very close. But no, there were people like the American Film Institute had it as one of the 5 greatest films ever made, which I was like, that's insane. You gotta be careful because Daniels is escaping. Well, which one is he? Oh, there he is. Alright, we gotta go. Okay. Why couldn't I turn? Dang it! That's so stupid. That was so dumb. I literally am like holding my joystick to go one way and it didn't do it. Godfather or Goodfellas? That's so hard for me to choose. I would lean Godfather slightly, but I love both of those. This was one of my most failed missions, yeah. I haven't forgotten your question, Ben. I would probably say Godfather, but it's very, very close. It's very, very close. I genuinely think Godfather is one of the greatest movies. I think Goodfellas is also one of the greatest movies ever made. But I slightly lean Godfather. And I prefer Godfather 1 over Godfather 2, by the way. Which I know that's a pretty heavy debate, and I understand both sides of it. But I personally think Godfather 1 is the better movie. Both are excellent, though. Alright, let's try... Okay, hang on. I prefer Godfather 1 as well, yeah. Now, as for Interstellar... So we actually talked about Interstellar on MMM recently, Ben. I think Interstellar is entertaining, but I think it's a bad movie. I think Interstellar is a bad film. Like a 4 out of 10 movie. I like what it's going for, but I think the execution of it is kind of terrible at times. I think the character work is pretty crappy. Dynamite can fix this problem. Not really, because we don't want to. We're supposed to capture the main one alive. I like a lot of what Interstellar is going for, but I think the execution is just really, really rough. I mean, the special effects are spectacular. It's a great looking movie. I don't hate watching it, but I think there's an argument that it's Nolan's worst movie. At the very least, it's one of his worst movies. I do not think it's a good film. Hang on. The Godfather 2 or The Dark Knight? Godfather 2 is a better made film, no doubt. It's not even close. I prefer watching The Dark Knight. It's a more palatable movie. Because it just, it fits my sensibilities. But Godfather 2 is definitely the better movie. I don't think there's any doubt. Yeah, we're being stealthy. And you're next. I didn't even see this guy. Dang it. Okay, hang on. Oh, that was the guy. I thought it was the other guy who was the bounty. Alright, we're going to call the horse down here. We're going to try this again. We had the right idea, it's just we made a misstep. Exactly. Whoopsie. That's why I failed so many times. Yeah. It's like, well, it's like Daniel Day-Lewis and Gangs of New York. It's like, whoopsie daisy. Mine's blowing. Take down, go, huh? Oh. Mind-blowing take down. I do want to make sure the horse comes here, but I want to make sure I can't believe Aaron doesn't like. Yeah, I think. Okay. Here's what I think of Aaron as far as his movie takes. I think Aaron bases almost all of it on his emotional reaction. Period. Oh shoot! They spotted me. Well, bloody hell. I don't like the DiCaprio voiceovers in Gangs of New York. Yeah, I'm not too fond of them either. All right, well, I guess we'll attempt to do it this way, but. It insists upon itself. Yeah, I think his take on The Godfather is wholly emotional, and he's taking it as objective, and I'm like, no. I think any objective person knows The Godfather is an incredible film. Even if you don't like it, it's a great film. But yeah, I did cringe a bit when he said what he said on that. Okay, I didn't mind dying there because once that guy spotted me, I was like, okay, the way I'm wanting to do this is... Did you know the Gangs of New York script was written in the 70s? I knew it was from further back than when it actually got made. I didn't realize it was that far back. Wow. Wowza. Wow. Shout out to Cannoli. Full Metal Jacket is also extremely overrated. I don't know. It depends on who's rating it. Because, I mean, I do agree there are some people who overrate it. So I definitely don't consider Full Metal Jacket like a 10 out of 10 movie. I do think it's a really good one. But more in like the 7 to 8 out of 10 range. Probably closer to an 8. But I mean, I think Full Metal Jacket is pretty dang good. It's pretty dang good. Are you trolling? No, he's not trolling. He's in his 20s. Some of Israel's sensibilities will catch up with age, I think, but yeah, and that's kind of what I think, Waylon. The first half is great. The second half is good. So I kind of lean it's in that 7 to 8 range as far as its overall execution. I don't think it's a 10 out of 10 movie like some people do. I don't think it's a 9 out of 10 movie. I think it's in that 7 to 8 range. I think it's a movie that hovers between good and great overall. But I think Kubrick did way better movies than Full Metal Jacket. I tell you what I should take. I need to get my bow. It's definitely over. It really just depends on who. Again, it kind of just depends on who's rating it. Are you kidding me right now? They spotted me from further away? Bloody hell. Alright, horsey. We're just gonna go in and start blasting, I guess.
Let's go.
I'm at the best streetwalker movie. Anything. Arlie Ermey makes him. Yeah, and the movie suffers without him. It undeniably suffers without him. Ow. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. There's another. Ah, got him by the feet, too. You wouldn't be saying that if you knew what I was gonna do. This is what you get for the electric chair. Did give us Wilson Fisk, though. That's true. That is true. Old Vincent D'Onofrio. And then Hawkeye and Echo run. Yeah, I did.
Up you get. Hey,
Take me to Day of Cork, then.
We should rub his face in that horse crap that he just pooped.
This ain't America.
The Kingpin doesn't flip and crap. Yeah.
Can't raise no animals, take no wives. All I did was graze my life.
sounds like
I don't want to hear about what you did to the horses.
you ain't going to court.
Tim.
You ain't going to jail either. I'm taking you to a professor I know.
What in hell are you talking about?
Lucky man, mister. You get to be part of
Yeah.
Shut up.
But yeah, as far as like Kubrick's movies are concerned, he's done several movies that are like to me it's like Kubrick's interesting because his movies are kind of simultaneously rated properly, but sometimes even slightly overrated. Because sometimes his more like esoteric sensibilities, I think, weigh some of his movies down. Like, I do think like 2001: A Space Odyssey is great, but that is a very flawed movie in a lot of ways. It's beautiful to look at. It's highly innovative. I think its reputation is well earned, but there is a lot of overindulgence in that movie too. A lot of it. But he also has other movies, like I think The Shining is great. I think that is the proper amount of self-indulgence in it. I think Barry Lyndon is highly underrated. But, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, his brilliant mind was a gift and a curse.
You ever seen lightning strike livestock, Mr. McDaniels? I ain't ever seen the actual impact, but I came across a pasture.
Arthur is literally, like, mentally torturing this guy. 2001 drag sometimes, as legendary as the film is, it feels like a film is just fapping itself and singing its own praises to. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think the whole Peter Griffin, it insists upon itself critique actually kind of works with 2001. I mean, I think it's an ambitious film largely done right, but not without its artistic indulgence. A lot of it. A lot of it.
No, sir. It was lightning. Electricity does something, all right. I seen trees explode in front of me. I seen desert sand baked into glass.
Dang, Arthur, this is like just no chill.
This electricity profession
But
got a plan for you.
what we heard is true. It kind of just is The Shining your top Kubrick. I mean, it's my favorite. Is it his best? I don't know. Oh yeah, another movie his I love is Doctor Strangelove. I freaking love Doctor Strangelove. I think that movie's hilarious. Shining is definitely my favorite movie of his. I don't know if I would call it his best though. Paths of Glory. Yeah, I need to watch that. I still need to watch it. I think I have that on Amazon. I need to watch it though. Oh dear. 30 years ahead of its time. That's what I've heard about it. It's a very ahead of its time war film.
Me too. Well, you'll be happy to know we ain't got far to go. Hold on tight now.
Arthur, he's enjoying this a lot. Like, I'm going to enjoy watching you die, Mr. Anderson. Do you hear that electricity? That is the sound of inevitability. Alright, let's ride you over to the professor. Any thoughts on Platoon? I like Platoon. I think Platoon's pretty dang good. It's an interesting movie. Funny enough, though, I've only watched that once, and I only watched it for the first time within the last couple of years. It took me an oddly long time to finally get around to seeing it. It was just one of those movies in a blind spot that I just kept saying, "Oh, I'll get around to it. I'll get around to it." But I finally watched it a couple of years ago. I thought it was really good. But I've only seen it the once, so I couldn't exactly say how I'd rate it. But really good, really well acted.
Ain't. Well, here we are. The professor will be real pleased to meet you.
This is horrible.
I got him. Come on. Don't be shy now. Let's go.
Oliver Stone gets pretty self-indulgent after that movie. Yeah, and that's part of what I thought was interesting about it is it was one of the less indulgent movies I've seen of Oliver Stone's.
Where's my money?
Money?
Yeah, for all
I think he just gets caught up too much in his own perspective on things.
Once they buy my humane electric ending facilitator.
I think he forgets his
it'll be
audience.
enough for you, sir.
Let's hope.
All right, let's get our poor unfortunate ready for the demonstration.
Oh,
do come
dear.
and watch. It'll be amazing. Come along.
It'll be amazing. It's like, well, alrighty then. Boy. Where is he? Where do we get to see it? I want to see it. Is it gonna pop up later? Perhaps we can bounty hunt before then, I suppose. But it looks like it's gonna pop up later on. But in the meantime, we can go hunt another bounty before he makes another JFK film. How old is Oliver Stone now? Is he even making movies anymore? I don't remember the last time he made something. I know he did that World Trade Center movie, which I didn't see it. I don't remember what he made, if anything, after that. I know he did that awful adaptation of Natural... Well, and I say adaptation because it was a Tarantino script, and Tarantino hated it, but he did that terrible Natural Born Killers movie. I did not like that at all. That's Dutch. We'll come back to you later, Dutch. I'm gonna hunt a bounty. And if we got time, maybe I'll do Dutch's mission. Tarantino is completely disowned the movie. Yep. I know he is none too fond of what Oliver Stone did. He took his name off of it. Other than the, what did he take, like a story credit? He was like, you can put it down for story credit, but do not say I wrote this screenplay, because it is not mine. I was always curious what Tarantino's version of Natural Born Killers was. Let's see. It is. It's already almost 2:30. I believe Robert Downey Jr.'s character was supposed to be the protagonist. I think you're right about that. Like, I want to say, like, in his version, the two killers are not in it that much. Like, the story is more just kind of chronicling what they did. And you rarely get to see them that much. If I remember correctly. Robert Downey Jr. Jeez. I like Robert Downey Jr. I think he's a pretty solid actor. Granted, he's getting a little odd in his later years. That's like, I fear he's kind of going the wrong route with certain things, but... Oh, they're trying to open a safe. Well, I know how to do that. Guys! I know how to open it. I think the problem is he got married too alone. Really? I don't know much about his... I mean, I know a bit about his wife, some of the good things he said about her, but... Like, what's weird is... He's somebody who was very, he defended, like, Mel Gibson a lot. And even, you know, he was one of the few people who heavily advocated that Hollywood, you know, get over their beef with him. Because Gibson was there for him during his time where he was, you know, an addict. I'm actually curious where he stands on that now, because, you know, he's been saying stuff lately where I'm like, oh, please don't line yourself up with those idiots, but... Yeah, well, I'm like, Gibson helped him while he was an addict and stood up for him and, like, gave him a lot of, like, personal advice to help him out, and, yeah, I think it was at the Golden Globes, like, you can literally find this clip on YouTube of Robert Downey Jr., publicly speaking on his behalf, like, in front of everyone, and I was like, that's cool. I liked that. You know, and I'm just like, do you still feel that way? But yeah, it was, he's still an idiot in real life, but when it comes to acting, he's got chops. No one does that manly droogsy and has a weird dad like that and not be able to show emotion. Yeah. I mean, he got drunk, and he said... It's like, and I'm sorry, it's like, I know his phone call to his, what was it, to his wife, that was, like, crazy unhinged, and I was just like, okay, I know that's not nice, but it's, it's kind of funny. What was that movie Gibson did with Sean Penn? Oh, I knew you were, Whitey. Gibson and Penn. I don't recall. I don't recall what movie that was. Alright, let's do the sneaky thing. Wait, what am I doing? I don't need that. That's what I wanted. My binoculars. So is this a camp of robbers, or is it just the one person? Investigate the camp. Huh. Might have something else going on here. Professor and Madman? I have not heard of this. I've literally never heard of that. Oh, money. It's my money now. That's my $12. Tarantino or Scorsese? I tend to prefer Tarantino's movies. But like Tarantino, I started... Oh dear. Hang on. I'm glad this is a dead or alive thing. A little overkill there, but I don't care. It was fun. If you're gonna dual wield, you do it rapid fire style. But yeah, I started watching. I kind of want Tarantino to make another western. Yeah, it wouldn't bother me if he did like an actual western set in the West. Well, I guess Hateful Eight was that, but a more, like, I guess, straightforward Western with, with his sensibilities. So I wouldn't mind that at all. Because I know he loves Westerns, but I am curious to see what he'll do for his last movie, assuming it's his last, like he said it would be. Let's search the saddlebag. But I saw Pulp Fiction when the year that movie came out. I was a wee lad when I first saw that movie. I was definitely too young to be watching it, but got away with it, and I loved it. That was great. So I've been a Tarantino fan for a very long time. Jenny, why did we did that discussion? He has said it won't be his last movie now. Yeah, I know he's not doing the crit. Really, he said it's not going to be his last anymore. Interesting. I haven't seen him say that. I did see him say that he wasn't doing the critic now. Oh, we got some explosives here. Well, we can't leave explosives, unexploded. That's just wrong. That's my ring. Camille. Got a girl's name. Is it a girl? Doesn't look like a girl. So is my hand on a female's buttocks? Camille de Millamont? Sounds like a girl name. Maybe that's why he became a killer. Oh, don't worry, Camille. It's for a good cause. If you see explosives, you gotta blow them up. Oh, hey, Cannoli, how you doing? Just keep resting, buddy. Hope you get better. Y'all send your good wishes, your prayers, everything to Cannoli. He's on the mend. But yeah, get better, buddy. We can't without you much longer. We can't. Vex is making us... She's making us go through the Alien movies. Oh my gosh, I'm under attack. Most bipolar director, he's definitely among them. Oh shoot, what the heck? That was great. He was like, say your prayer for the... Oh my gosh. I gotta revive my horse. Mac, you've almost died twice.
You're gonna be okay.
Mac's just like, stop killing me. We gotta heal up our horse. And we gotta increase our Deadeye to make that a little less likely to happen. I rewatched last night's show. You poor people. It's alright. We made it. We made it. Alright. Eat some of that Schmidt's Gay salmon. If you watched SNL back when it's good, you'll get the Schmidt's Gay reference. What if Tarantino made an Alien movie? Probably be better than the garbage ones we've gotten lately. Alright. Boosted that up. Actually, let's give it one other little boost. Just in case. And let's... Actually, hang on. When do I think SNL fell off? During the Will Ferrell era. And that's not to say that the Will Ferrell era was all bad. Because they had some good stuff still, but if he's the best thing you have going for SNL, that's not good. Because Will Ferrell is a very mediocre funny man. And he literally was the best thing they had for a while. So I think when that was the era where it really started to plunge. And following that, It got really bad. Like right now, the only thing they've got that has some bit of comedic value is when the two Weekend Update people, when the two Weekend Update guys make each other read like jokes that make them uncomfortable, that can be funny. Like they've had some bits between them that are really funny. So that's like the only thing they have going for them. I think Andy Samberg is funny, but I don't think there was ever a time where he was the funniest person on SNL. But even with him, some of his stuff is very inconsistent. I don't think he's a great funny man. I think he's solid. You know, I think some of the Lonely Island songs are really funny. I think some of them are really stupid. Yeah, Colin Yost, I think is his name. Yeah, he's married to Scarlett Johansson. Yep.
Someone apparently ransacked one of those awful caravans outside of town.
And one of the funnier jokes that his co-host made him read was one about Scarlett Johansson. I was like, yeah, that's pretty funny. I'm in a glass prison of emotion. Yeah, that was, I like Anchorman. Anchorman's probably my favorite Will Ferrell movie. I'd say that's probably my favorite of his. Oh, I agree. Norm Macdonald's Weekend Update stuff. His stuff was great. And it's aged so well. I did like Kevin Nealon when he did it, but he was just part of a great era, so you could argue that part of the reason it worked is because his interaction with the various guests and whatnot. But, yeah, Norm Macdonald, glorious. Norm Macdonald, Rolling Stone ranked him the 140th worst cast member?
That's it.
If you think Norm Macdonald was bad for SNL, it's like you're a retard. Well, yeah, it's not so much that Kevin himself was funny, Whitey. It was more him, like, the segments with him worked because of the guests. Like, they played off, like, I think he was good at, like, setting up other people for funny. Like, by himself, I don't think he's very funny. But he usually, like some of the better segments on Weekend Update, like, stuff from, like, Chris Farley and Adam Sandler, a lot of that really good stuff came while he was the host. Dennis Miller was really good, yeah. Well, Rolling Stone is stupid because it's nobody in their right mind could watch Norm Macdonald and think, I don't care what you think of his views. Norm Macdonald is one of the funniest human beings to ever walk this planet. And his stuff only gets funnier the more you watch it. He's one of the very few comedians where I can hear him tell, like, I can watch a clip of him telling a joke and watch that clip 10 times and it's just as funny the 10th time as it is the first time. Like, he is, and it's funny is because he made it look effortless. Okay, that now I know he's doing the hot take thing, because it's like, nobody would say Will Ferrell's funnier than Norm Macdonald, but Norm calling Bill Clinton a murderer on The View was, oh, I agree, just that little bit, oh, Clinton, he murdered a guy. Just that little soundbite is so funny. It's so funny. And I say that having rewatched that clip pretty recently, like within the last couple of days. I go back to Norm clips probably at least once every couple of weeks at work. Like, that's like the longest distance. At 2 weeks is probably the longest distance I put between the last Norm clip I've watched. And usually I'll watch like a huge string of them, and then maybe I'll wait a week or two. It's like, okay, time to wait. So let's watch some more Norm. Oh, jeez. They called O.J. Simpson. Yeah, the O.J. Simpson stuff is great. Oh, that looked painful. Bring him on, bring him on. Norm's favorite kind of joke is where the joke is also the yeah, it's where the setup and the punchline are like the same thing. Like to him, that's the perfect joke. I love, but I mean, it's like he has so many different joke structures. Like he could tell jokes that were extremely clean, and they would be hilarious. And he could tell jokes that were much more, edgy or ornery, and they could be hilarious. I mean, there was not a joke structure he had that he couldn't master. Like I remember one time in Israel, you'll appreciate this, and it's worth checking out. I think it was like the first time he was ever on Colin Cowherd's show, and Colin said he wanted to run a joke by Norm to see if it was good, and the girl that this was back when that blonde chick was his co-host, and she was just kind of like, "Oh no, Colin, don't tell him that." It's like she was like, "Oh, he's gonna embarrass himself," and he told he told Norm the joke, and honestly, it wasn't a terrible joke. It was kind of an observational thing, and Norm he sat there, he indulged him, and he listened to it, and he goes. And and I'm not saying, he goes, I don't know how to make this joke great, but I'm wondering if you could tell it in such a way to where it would work. And Norm heard it, he goes, no, that's a pretty, there's something there, you could do something. And then he turned it very quickly, and it was funny. I was like, wow, it's amazing how simple he made that look. He was on Conan, where you could actually see how his mind works. They're actually talking about character. Yeah, though that clip is legendary.
What the hell?
It's like, wait, she left 90210 to be in a movie with Carrot Top? Yippee, Jerry Rubin is dead. Wait, that's supposed to say yippee, Jerry Rubin is dead. I'm sorry. I love that clip, Whitey. That one kills me. Yippee! Jerry Rubin is it? Oh, I'm sorry. I always like how Conan would just indulge Norm to go for yeah. Like he was always like in the moment, like baffled, like where is he even going with this? But then when he like the moth joke thing is so funny. It's so funny. I'm so fast at being so witty. He had genuine talent, unlike Kevin Hart. Yeah. Let's see if Frank does that. McDonald clearly thought he was hilarious, and that counts as something. Confidence is essential for a weekend update anchor. Unfortunately, he was just a Dennis Miller clone with no jokes. Stare into the camera a little longer, nor maybe it'll get funnier. Rolling Stone. Gosh, what a cringe take. That shows I mean, I don't know for sure that was written by a woman, but I get whoever wrote it is definitely got feminine sensibilities on comedy.
Must be. You okay, John? I guess.
I watched the old Kevin Hart specials before he was huge. He was funny, but not that funny. I've never seen any of his old stuff, but I've never found Kevin Hart especially funny. Written by Rob Sheffield. That sounds like a femboy. But venom. They are extremely venomous, but venom. Sorry, but venom is their only defense. Actually mastered the art of not giving a crap. He actually couldn't care less if people got his jokes and laughed. As long as he thought it was funny, he was satisfied. Well, I mean, like, when he got up there during the Bob Saget roast, he's a big Taylor Swift fan, which sounds like, yeah. Patrice O'Neal paired with Anthony Cumia was a deadly... yeah. Patrice O'Neal was really funny. Gosh, it's funny because, when they put up, like, Kevin Hart, granted, I think Chris Rock is funny, but... when they talk about how, certain black comedians, it's usually like, okay, Richard Pryor is the one who gets put up there at the top, and I have no issue with that. Pryor was great. Eddie Murphy is put up there really high. No real issue with that. But Patrice O'Neal is, like, right there with them. Patrice O'Neal was so funny. Did I see the Patrice O'Neill interview at the auctions? I think I did, or at least clips from it. But I would put Patrice O'Neill with up there with those two guys. He was hilarious.
Why do you take his son?
Excuse me.
Rob Sheffield definitely wears a hat like this.
Did you take his son? We ain't got no problems with you, sir. Nor you with us. But if you want to start one, there's going to be a lot of
nobody
folks
but a guy who complained about women too much. Nick DiPaolo and Patrice was another. Oh yeah.
You walk into my city, stinking of shit and looking like this, and you come into my house before you have a bath, and you tell me how to act.
Bernie Mac was good. I liked Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac was funny. He was good at delivery. Like that's what I thought he did really well. Is Bernie Mac knew how to deliver a joke really well.
Indeed you have.
Like some of his jokes, I don't know if they would have worked without his delivery.
Now.
But yeah, I liked Bernie a lot.
We are simple.
But honestly, that's true of even a lot of Norm's jokes. A lot of Norm's jokes don't work if you're not delivering them a certain way. Oh yeah, and Dave Chappelle, of course. Yeah, Dave Chappelle's fantastic.
Some dispute with some inbred ex-slavers.
Not gonna get any hot take from me on Dave Chappelle. Chappelle is genuinely hilarious. Who do you think was funny during Sandberg's era? I'd have to look up who all was in the cast back then.
Most surely were ignorant of.
You twist words.
I'm not the biggest fan of Bill Burr, but he's still pretty popular right now. I mean, Burr. I feel like Burr was way funnier about 5-10 years ago. I feel like he still can be funny, but he's not anywhere near as consistently funny as he used to be.
John Marston.
Old mine, please.
As Jim Carrey, obviously he's a different type of comedian.
Have his son.
Of course.
But he fits my sensibilities. I mean, as far as his movies are concerned, he cracks me up. At least when he is in his funny stuff. But Boosh, his wife screwed him up. I agree. Dave Chappelle will forever be in my good graces for annoying so many insufferable people. Yeah.
No. So, how about this? You perform a simple job for me?
Yeah. I mean, Bill Burr, like, some of it, I mean, his older stuff is pretty dang good. It's pretty dang good.
That is a fine place for it. The best.
Like, yeah, back when he was like, there's an epidemic of gold digging. That stuff was great. It was all, I mean, and he didn't immediately get worse when he got married. It's just he's progressively gotten more milquetoast with his takes, to where you'll only occasionally see some of that old Bill Burr pop. Like, it was pretty recently, like, he did the opening monologue on SNL, and I think just because he's Bill Burr, people were immediately like, oh, this is so funny. And I listened to it, and I'm like, are you serious? This is, like, the worst Bill Burr stand-up I've seen maybe ever. I was like, it wasn't like... And it's not because it was leaning any particular way politically. It just felt like such safe comedy. I was like, this isn't very good. Like even though I would say Louis C.K. is far more left-leaning than Bill Burr, even all after the crap he did and asked for forgiveness, he still has remained pretty funny. He still remains pretty dang funny. Now, granted, it's harder to find his stuff now because people are still pissed off at him, but I'm like, he's still pretty funny.
That poor kid. I ain't been a good
We can all agree George Carlin was peak Reddit and actual... I think George Carlin is the most overrated comedian of all time. I think he's the most overrated comedian ever. I do not get the fascination with him. People act like he was this really base guy who would hate modern left-leaning culture, and I'm like, no, he wouldn't. No, he would not. I think it's that syndrome where when a person crosses over with you occasionally, that's what a lot of people tend to praise about you, is they see some of the crossover with their own sensibilities, and they're like, oh, he must be really based, or he must be one of us, and I'm like, no, he wasn't.
Let's hitch the horses up ahead.
Sam Hyde is one of the best recent comedians. I'd have to look him. I know his name, I just can't put a face on him. Alright, is this where we're going? What are we doing? I haven't been paying attention to what I'm supposed to do on this mission, so... Well, it's not specifically white people. Well, I don't understand why white liberal people would like him, but... Well, here's the thing: is like that's like if you remember, like that video you showed me about him. Most people don't know that side of him. Most people aren't aware that he had those kind of sensibilities. He had good, yeah. Well, that's the thing. He had certain takes that I would agree with, but that's that little bit of ideological crossover that he gets way too much credit for. Like, people hear that and they think that's the totality of his views, and I'm like, no. I think the rise of Shane Gillis is more important than people realize. I agree, and not because he's necessarily a great comedian. It's more because he's kind of that return to that Larry the Cable Guy, good old boy type funny man that people universally like. Like, I don't think he's a great comedian, but he's funny enough and very likable. And people, it's hard not to at least like him personally.
Okay, I'll lead. You watch behind me.
Search the cemetery for grave robbers. Arthur literally just said, I'll lead. And he's like, I'll be in front then. He despises Sam Hyde, which makes it... Hang on, I'm going to look up Sam Hyde real quick so I can put a face. F the system, F the bankers, F the colonizer, go minorities, things. Yeah, it's like, he had, like, the reasons that his idea has some ideological crossovers, because it's like, yeah, he's against the establishment, but he thinks all of the establishment, or all people in power, are 100% equal. And I'm like, no, that's not how it goes. Sam Hyde. Let me look him up real quick. Yeah, I've seen him before. I don't know his material right, all that well off the top of my head, but I'll check him out. I'll check him out. George Cohen. Let's see. Despises Sam Hyde, which makes me like him more. Yeah. Okay, I read all that.
Darn shithole.
Probably should get my throwing knives out. We're looking for grave robbers. I woke up, so I'm going to stream on Twitter in a minute. No problem, dude. After this mission, I'm done, so... Joey Diaz is the funniest man alive right now. That's another name I know, but not the face. Joe Rogan can't do... Yeah, I agree. Like, I think Rogan's an interesting podcaster. I think he does interviews well. But his stand-up comedy's terrible. It's just not funny. I don't think he does delivery well. He was pro-free speech, particularly in regards to comedy, but Carlin would probably be pro-censorships. I agree, yeah. I think Carlin would be... I think his hypocrisies would show up a lot in the modern day. Ogar, do you know Matan Eben? Huh? Hang on. If not, when you get time, search Matan Eben. Hassan Piker, watch it. Okay. You might have to remind me of that, but... because I don't know what that means, but... Matan Eben, Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker's so freaking cringe. Matan Eben is an interesting kid, a good interviewer. Okay. Went to the Game Awards and said, I would like to thank my Jewish rabbi, Bill Clinton. Don't watch anything about Hassan Piker. I mean, I've watched quite a bit about Hassan Piker. I know who he is. I'll be honest. Hassan Piker is so insane and stupid that I'm actually glad he exists as a representative of the left, because he's one of the best examples of how stupid they can be.
Hey there, boy. Someone's here somewhere. Come on. check over here.
Hinchcliffe has become huge recently. He's so evil and stupid, and he's too dumb even for Destiny. Yeah. That's just a pair of idiots. Destiny is just, I mean, like, both of them are full-blown unhinged, just in different ways. They're just, you know, I mean, it's like they don't cross over perfectly, but they're both equally unhinged. Destiny is just, he's psychotic. He's kind of psychotic. Like Hassan, I more look at as more of a grifter, and I think Destiny is crazier because I think Destiny genuinely believes like everything he says, even though he can't defend like any of it.
You boys found my pappy's watching.
Destiny has.
How many you see? 3, 4, hard should have paid Mr. Bronte. Let's fail, boys. This ain't worth it. Look out! They're making a run for it.
Kill him!
Careful, they're leading us out in the open. Yo, Dan, hold up.
Hang on. I'll make sure I don't get myself killed. He's not been getting away with his debate tactics or something. Well, yeah, he has it for a little while now because he's running into people who are way better at it. His talk, when all your style depends on is talking fast rather than having substance, you're just eventually going to get exposed because it's easy to see through that. Like he's attempting the Ben Shapiro style, except Ben Shapiro, you know, love him or hate him, you know, Ben Shapiro is right about more things than Destiny and is a better debater. He actually has more substance. You know, I have plenty of issues with Ben Shapiro on various subjects, but he's right far more often. Oh wow, $19. Okay, you got some money.
We can't go back to Bronte empty-handed. Let's have a look where they first shot at us from. Robbing grave robbers. We've hit the big time.
Let's see. I know I shot more than 2 of them.
We can't go back to Bronte with nothing to show.
We're not, John. I'm gonna. Doesn't wear butt plugs. Also doesn't wear butt plugs and have interactions with him. Like, I don't know who was on that video with Destiny. Okay, in all honesty, funny as it was, people memeing that was Fuentes with him on those compromising videos. I don't genuinely believe that was Nick Fuentes. I haven't seen evidence to show that was actually him, and I don't like Nick Fuentes, and I don't like him at all. I think he's a grifter. I think he's a massive grifter and a phony, and he plays on anger. But I don't think that was him with Destiny in those videos. But the memeing was pretty funny all the same. Because the memes were, at the very least, born of the fact that those two have been friendly before and cozy. But I don't think cozy equates to he was... Kiwi Farms analyzed the thumb of the dudes, but still likely they did something. I don't know.
Let's just track back to where we came in. Damn it.
Like, I tend to think, you know, because I know Nick, he's absolutely a grifter. Because it's like, I know he's been deplatformed, banned from everything. He still has a massive following, and you can make lots of money off of him having a big following. He still has like something like 400,000 YouTube subscribers. He's definitely a grifter. Because and the way you can tell a grifter is somebody who betrays their values constantly, and he does. He's highly inconsistent. So I don't buy his nonsense for a second. But do I think him and Destiny... Do I think him and Destiny have done anything sexual with each other? No, I don't actually think they have. Do I think Nick Fuentes, if he followed his proclivities, would be straight? Also no. I actually think he might be gay. I think there's a high likelihood he's gay. Doesn't mean he's actually followed through with it, but I think he's gay. Oh, I don't want to shoot John. I don't want to build up too big a bounty. He wants one on a date with a cat boy. I don't know what that means. Hang on. My cat is following my reticle and on the TV stand. I was like, what is he doing up there? Alright, we gotta escape here. Can't get out that way, and there's too many guards. He's not objectively better than anyone. He's a retard. And he's a massive grifter because like he's 1 second saying he's not gonna vote for Trump. He's actually thinks Kamala's meme game is better and all this other crap, and it's like then when Trump wins, he's like, "Ha! They're trying to steal it from us again." And I'm like, give me a freaking break. He tries to take credit where he doesn't deserve it. He's a massive grifter. He reads the tea leaves. And he tries to play it a little bit edgier than some of the other people, and then follows where the money is on, that he can get. Hop on, hop on. I don't know if he explicitly did vote for Kamala, but I just know he said he wasn't going to vote for Trump. Which he said over and over and over again. He's like, I'm not going to vote for Trump. He was saying that literally like within like 2 days of the election. I don't know if that means he voted for Kamala. But... he tried to play like it's all us afterwards, and I'm like, huh? Ain't no us in this. Please tell me my horse isn't gonna die here. That would suck so bad. High Plains Drifter or Pale Rider. Whew, that is... You know what's funny is there was a post...
It's lucky I ain't a religious man.
Let's just get back there, collect our side of the deal.
I think there was a post that we were talking about like our favorite westerns. I had a really hard time choosing between Pale Rider and High Plains Drifter. I'm not 100% certain where I stand on that. I would say I slightly lean High Plains Drifter at the moment, but I don't know for sure. The Your Body, My Choice thing was kind of fun. I mean, it was a funny turn on words, but I don't think he came up with it. Because I saw it before I saw it from him. Yeah, I think High Plains Drifter is just that little bit better. You know, it's not by an extreme amount, but it's like I slightly lean towards it being the slightly better film. Where are we going? Oh, wow, we gotta go... Jeez. They're making us go right back in. Are you flipping kidding me right now? fell during Capitol Hill GOP lunch and injured his face. EMT. Huh, well, Mitch. Have I seen Fistful of Dynamite? I haven't. I've heard of it. I haven't seen it though. You know what's funny is we looked at people like Joe Biden and say, you know, this is a great example of why we need term limits. And I'm like, it is, but he's not the only example. We don't just need term limits for presidents or age restrictions on when you can be president. We need it for people of any seat in government. Mitch McConnell still being government is retarded. Like, he's in worse physical shape than Biden. I honestly, it's embarrassing that I live in the state that he comes from, where he keeps getting voted in. Like, he is awful, and has been awful for a very long time. Like, we gotta get him out of there. Get rid of Pelosi too. Yeah, absolutely. Like, she's more lucid, I guess, than McConnell, but not much more. Feinstein's, yeah, Feinstein's great, yeah. Feinstein was psycho. Yeah, Mitch McConnell is just like, gosh, it's embarrassing watching him out there.
Alright, let's get this done.
Alright, we are almost done with this stream. So like I said, this mission will mark the end, and looks like we're about to turn it in, y'all. Hang on, gotta hitch up the horse. You stink of horse.
Whoa. Come on, Arthur.
Head all into the Brontes. Have I seen The Mercenary? I have not.
What are you doing? Let's go get Jack.
What? I'm right here. What you talking about,
Well,
John?
You took your time.
Where's your host?
Like I said, you took your time. I'm glad to see you. Let's get going. What a fine man. Hey, friend. Thank Mr. Bronte for everything.
He's being abused as a senior citizen. By himself.
You know, Arthur, Mr. Bronte has invited us to a garden party at the mayor's house. And us, just simple country boys.
Yeah, I don't know how you don't see through that there, Dutch. Like, seriously. How do you not see through that? Gonna check Sam Hyde. I'll tell you now. If you don't mind, would you tag me on... You can even message me on Twitter if you like, because I do want to remember that. I would like to remember that. Because after the stream, I'm going to probably make myself something to eat, then finish up the script I'm working on, and I don't want to forget those things. So, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Because I do want to look into this. I'm always down for finding good comedians. I work long shifts. It's good to have something funny in the ear. Funny or interesting. I was telling Whitey and Vex and all them the other day, I was like, I'm embarrassed that it took me as long as I did to discover Wendigoon's channel, because I think it's incredibly interesting. So I was binging that at work this weekend, watching some of his stuff. Sam Hyde is on your bucket list. He's hilarious in bass. Just watch some of his stuff and you'll likely become a fan. Yeah. You seen Death Rides a Horse? I've heard of that. I haven't watched it. I know the music, like the track Death Rides a Horse that Morricone produced, because I know Tarantino used it in Kill Bill.
Real good to see you, Jack.
You too, Uncle Arthur. Did you catch the bad guy?
I was actually it was funny because I remember when I first saw Kill Bill, that was one of my favorite tracks from the movie, and it's not actually on the disc when you buy the soundtrack. I was like, oh, I gotta find this. I didn't know what the song was called, and I was like, what is the name of this track? And then I used one of those, like years later when they had those apps that could identify music. I found it, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I saw it was Morricone, and I was like, oh, I should have known. I should have known.
Of course you did.
Riding in the Dark. It's one of the best scores ever. Yeah. I know there's like this long, like several hour compilation of Ennio Morricone's music you can pull up, and gosh, it's good from like start to finish.
Abigail! Abigail! We got you, your son, everything.
We got him.
Ecstasy of gold.
I'm fine, Mama. They fed me good Italian food.
Look at this doily collar I'm wearing. Oh no, they turned him gay.
Dutch, Arthur, thank you. Thank you.
Look at the clothes they put Jack in. They're groomers.
I got my son back.
Jack. How are you, boy?
I'm fine, thanks.
Everything's okay now. Abigail?
Can I go play now?
So,
Well, we met Mr. Bronte. He is
Ennio Morricone is definitely a top 3 composer of the 21st century. I agree.
Italian strong man before.
not outside.
I'm Jacqueline now, Mama.
Let me tell you all about him.
No.
You go be with your family. Arthur, thank you. Boys, we got some work to do.
All right, guys. Well,
Interesting work.
that is going to wrap up today's stream. I appreciate y'all hanging out. This was fun. Got to have a lot of conversation during it. That's always the type of stream I prefer. It's one where we can chit-chat the whole way through, even if it sometimes distracts me from whatever the heck is going on in the game. But yeah, this was a lot of fun, y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging. I will see you all again soon. I'm planning on probably streaming at some point tomorrow. I'm just not sure when, because I'm going to be a little bit busy in the morning. But anywho, I will see you all again soon. Until then, good night, God bless, and Godspeed.